Once was a land of woe and strife, where the people were bereft of hope. They prayed to their gods of might and light to deliver the heroes of old. Instead they got heroes. Did you hear the quotes in my voice of moral ambiguity? They may help or may not help you at all. Depends on what's in it for them. They kick and they punch and they maul and they smash. They lie and they scheme and they burn and they slash. Succeed or fail, it adds to the tale. Dungeons and Debacle starts now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. I am your host and dungeon master, Kevin. Going around the table, Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake, and I'll be playing Juliet, the eldritch knight / wizard Dragonborn.
And Hannah.
I'm Hannah, and I'll be playing Talia, the human rogue.
And John.
Hello, I'm playing Alunodas, Elven monk.
And Shane.
Evil.
I'm Shane, playing Alexander, the recovering human bard. I'm also recovering in person.
All right. So last time on Dungeons and Debacles podcast, Alexander, the bard, was in recovery after being raised from the dead. It was kind of a shopping episode as Talia went about town trying to get some custom pieces made for her. She's getting some boots with some sheaths and some spring-loaded bracers for her daggers. You came back to the inn, and there was some bully boys that were harassing the innkeeper. I believe it was Alunodas that stepped in, and a fight ensued. You were able to dispatch them with the help of Juliet. The innkeeper was very pleased and said that you could stay here anytime you want and eat for free. And that is where you find yourselves now. The town guard has carted off the ruffians, and at this point it's probably about 8 o'clock at night.
Alright, so we finished cleaning up the guards last time, and I believe it was time for dinner.
Yes, food.
And I remember
could use a
Talia
salad.
had a date.
No, she didn't. She did not. No.
I mean, if he's gonna eat with us, yeah, that'd be nice.
I'll be eating my salad with knives.
And we'll drag Alexander down here because I'm gonna force feed him if that's what it takes. So I'm not gonna watch him up there and let him choke to death or something.
As you go upstairs and you get cleaned up a little bit after the fight, and this Juliet, you at this point had gone up to talk to Alexander. So I would guess you're still in the room, and you would be trying to encourage him to come downstairs for dinner.
Alright, wait, do we have to gather the party to go down to dinner? Is that...
You must gather the party before venturing forth.
Maybe I'm a little confused on what's going on here.
No, he told you he was going to have dinner ready for you.
Okay, so we can just go and eat dinner, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Alexander, we're about to have dinner. Juliet's going to enter his room without knocking, because I hope you're not doing anything private. We're going to have dinner now. Do you mind if I carry you down?
I don't.
Well, at
Alright.
this point, he wouldn't be so weak that he couldn't walk.
Oh, okay. Well, then, in that case, I will help you down if you would like.
Yeah, I could use the shoulder so I don't accidentally fall down the stairs.
So as you come out of the room, you're going to see Nifron open the door behind you and say, "Something smells good."
Oh, Nifron, it's time for dinner.
I think
Come
at this
join
point
us
Talia
downstairs.
was with Nifron, right?
Yeah, you went up to his room. It's been 2 weeks. I forgot exactly what was going on. I think Juliet was in Alexander's room, and Nifron and was talking to Talia about poisons.
So I'm gonna walk out of Nifron's room and with him and be like, yeah, food.
With or without poison?
Preferably without poison.
Talia, what were you doing in Nifron's room?
I was asking for some advice.
Uh-huh.
About boys.
Oh, okay, I get you.
And Nifron turns around, looks at Talia, and winks.
She's just gonna kind of chuckle and blush a little bit, because even though that's totally not what they were talking about, even the thought of talking about boys is embarrassing.
So cute.
So Nifron's going to say, shall we? And he's going to take off walking down the steps.
Oh, come on, let's join the others. Alunodas, where are you? Juliet's going to
I'm
call
still
out.
downstairs.
Oh, you're still downstairs.
I never went anywhere. God, you are
Just
like
stood there the
worst.
whole time?
I was, sitting at a table waiting for my salad.
Oh, I get you.
I mean, if they had a salad bar, I'd be eating already, but they don't.
So you sit down, and the Jared's ward, what was his name? Michael, I think. The teen boy.
Nobody remembers.
I have 3 names written down here. I'm pretty sure Jared was the name of the innkeeper, Michael was the name of the kid, and then Darren is someone else. I don't remember who Darren is.
It was Michael. He's going to bring out a bunch of plates of food served family style. You've got like a lamb stew with potatoes and carrots, and then he brings out this thing of like filled greens and some roasted vegetables. He sits it down at the table and says, is there anything else I can get for you? And you're going to notice that he's looking at Talia.
Not that I can think of right now, but thank you.
Well, just let me know. And Jared's going to come out.
Shit.
And Jared's going to come out, and he's going to say, well, thank you so much. You was such a great help, and like I said, you are welcome here at any time. The food's on me.
You're too kind. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everything that you've done, and we hope those ruffians don't come back to trouble you anymore.
After the thrashing you gave them, I doubt that. Well, I'll leave you to eat your meal in peace.
Thank you very much. We will see you around.
Just let me know if there's anything I can get for you. And he's going to wipe his hands off on his apron and walk into the back. Currently, at this point, you are the only people in the inn.
Okay, so what are our plans from this point on, people? And don't forget, we have a visitor here, or we're visiting for someone else, so let's try and keep our conversation correct.
Way to be smooth.
Hey,
No, she's right. I think. You were being very not smooth.
That being said, I actually have some stuff in the works I'm super excited about.
What would that be?
Such
Are you
as?
learning an instrument?
No, I'm getting new boots. As she says that, she's gonna realize just how not like her that sentence is.
I didn't take you as a shoe aficionado.
Well, when I can store knives in them, I'm pretty happy.
Right.
So Nifron's going to look over at Alexander and say, how are you feeling?
Could be better. I'm not 100% quite yet.
No, that'll probably take a couple of days. As much as I'd
Yeah,
like
are
to
you
get on
even
the road,
25%? You look like garbage.
Yeah, I'm pretty dead tired.
and Nifron says, as much as I'd like to get back on the road, I think a couple of days rest would do us good.
Well, what else do we have to plan? Otherwise, we can just kind of take it easy for these next couple days. We have to get our cart moving. We're continuing north, is that correct? Or I think there's a mountain pass we can go through.
Yes, generally westward. There should be another town where we can cross the river to get to Fedale. Are we going to be following the coast or going through the mountains?
Oh, that was my question.
I
My vote
think
is for the mountains.
same.
Well, let's
Um,
do the mountains.
yeah, you would know that the pass through the mountains would probably save you at least 3 or 4 days travel.
Mountains it is.
Yeah, and
Right.
I'm not trying to.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not trying to run into any crazy sea monsters again.
Oh, but that sounds
would be on the
fun.
river, so that wouldn't be possible. I don't know. Sea monsters? You're weird.
Water monsters, synonyms.
I love synonym rolls.
Yeah, but they all kind of look and sound the same.
What do you mean by sea monsters, anyway?
Don't you remember that Kraken thing we fought off?
Oh, I thought you meant
You
something
guys-
else.
You guys fought a kraken?
Yeah, it was... Wait, was I there for that? Yes, I was there for that. Yes, we did. It was a big sea monster, and it was lots of tentacles, and I punched it a lot.
It
How
really
have
wasn't
I
that
never... Yeah, but I've never heard that. You have to tell me the story. I've never heard
I
this
just
story.
did.
You have to
that
tell me
was
the
pretty
story.
much all there was to it.
Talia's gonna... Talia's gonna look at Alunodas and just be like, I don't trust you. You make things too simple. But, like, with her eyes, she says this.
Yeah, that sounds like something that Alunodas would definitely see and understand with the way she does that with her eyes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's a monk, not a bard.
Yeah, I would like to try and do like a little bard's tale kind of thing, and roll a performance check using a flute to go.
Sure.
13.
You do a good job of telling the story. Not a lot of embellishments, like sound effects or voices or anything like that. But you're able to convey most of the tale.
Yeah, so that's about how that went.
What a great story. I'd like to hear it again sometime. The way you tell it is very exciting.
Terse, though. Very laconic.
That seemed like a super cool story, guys.
I wish we had a recording of it that we could just, play back at some future time. But yeah, we fought a number of creatures. Come to think of it, we actually haven't fought that many big creatures, have we? We fought a dragon,
The
Kraken.
Full of
There was something else.
Ettins.
What's that? Right, Ettins.
Spiders and goos.
I don't know if spiders
and
count.
fire elementals, which Talia
Oh,
I
does.
killed
fire
the
elemental.
giant elemental, yeah. How could you forget about my awesome fire elemental kill?
Which is enough for one person for their lifetime.
What else have we? I mean,
A gene.
yeah. I think he likes to be called an Afredi.
Yeah. Whatever. And you also talked the ghost of a mage to death.
That he was already dead. That doesn't count.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
Man, I would like to look at the kid to see how he's taking all of this in.
Michael's not in the room. He's back in the back.
Oh, I thought he was with us.
Nope, the help doesn't eat with the guests.
Anyway, I am going to spend the next few days trying to help the local temple to clean up its act, attract more followers.
Really? That is uncharacteristically kind of you. I mean that in a evil way.
I like to imagine you actually saying that there in the background.
You gotta be cruel to be kind.
You have to be kind to be cool. Yes, I'm going to. This is a small population, relatively speaking, but as a center for trade along a route between several major cities, I think it could have an outsized influence. And being out of the way, it might be possible to get away with things. Anyway, I'm going to work with the local church.
Oh yeah, you had a friend there. What did you two talk about? Anything? Catch up? That sort of thing?
Yes, we chatted. He wanted to talk about times he did things to older people. He's kind of weird like that. But yeah, I'm trying to convince him to set up a school here.
Times he did things to older people.
Putting itchy things on them and drinking their things. Wine things.
Okay, I am not going to press that subject any further.
Thank you.
Alexander, do you have any business you'd like to take care of here?
Not particularly. I have some business with my bed.
I'm surprised you don't write stories or anything. I feel like you could, chronicle some of this.
Nah, he just writes fan fiction.
I'd like to think that my words carry more than my written hand.
Ah, man of words. I don't know, I'm
Words
partial
do
to the
mean
books. And what about you, Nifron? Do you have any plans here that you're allowed to tell us about? I know you're quite hermetic.
I might see the sights, visit some people.
All of you know so many people around here. Why don't I know people?
Maybe because you're reading so many books.
And you're not visiting people.
It was a rhetorical question.
I didn't say that I knew them.
Oh, so you're a fence on the side or something?
I wouldn't say that. He
Are
goes
you
back to
planning on
eating.
killing them?
He just gives you a coy look.
Is there something wrong with your eyes that you're doing that?
Yeah, it must be dust. And then he's going to give Alexander a knowing look.
Alunodas, we have to talk about things like facial expressions and subtleties. I feel like there's a lot you could learn.
But there are so many races and species, and they all do different things, and it's just not worth it.
He's not wrong.
I can't deny that either. That's actually a really good point.
Maybe we can get him a book of common phrases and their actual meaning.
I suppose, but then he'd have to flip through it every time.
I can already do flips. I'm very good at acrobatics.
That's fair.
I like
Did you
how
read books at all when you learned Alunodas, or has it been just kind of you were taught and that's all you learned? Were there any holy texts or sacred, special techniques?
Yeah, it was just the punching and focusing our chi and serving our mistress. And for some reason, Lagermas liked to drink wine and put itchy things on people.
I just love how socially dense Alunodas is. Need to get him a facial expression flip book.
So, does his eyebrows going up change from diagram C3 to C9 or over to F7? I don't.
Are you in a tavern or bar, or are you in a dungeon/basement?
Now, does this encounter qualify as friendly, pseudo-friendly, or fake friendly prior to a fight, or paid to be friendly?
And Talia, what do you have planned, if anything at all?
Oh,
Aside
probably,
from boots.
Probably just training Abbott and going on horseback rides and maybe showing Michael, all the tricks that Abbott can do.
Okay, if you need us to leave you alone at any point, just let us know.
But you haven't taught Abbott how to kill. What else would you show the killer boy?
I would show him, sit, and, I might work on a special trick in the coming days so that I can show him something really cool.
A special trick? What?
I don't know, standing on his hind legs or something.
I thought you were going to teach him magic or something. That would be really impressive. Magic dog!
Wait, can I teach him magic?
Yeah, I'm not sure he has the capacity to grasp the finer points.
Yeah, I think dogs have an intelligence of 7 or 8.
That's pretty high, I think.
Yeah, that's actually really high.
No?
So
Yeah, they probably have an intelligence of 3. But yeah, teach him a cantrip. So instead of barking, he runs around throwing sparks.
That's safe.
Teach him prestidigitation so he'll quit licking his balls.
I was thinking something more useful, like light. He could start glowing or something.
Oh my god, he could be like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Right, but all glowy, not just his nose.
Oh, that's lame.
Better his nose than his balls.
Actually, speaking of Alunodas and social cues, Alexander, you should teach Alunodas some of these social cues. You're rather good with people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't appreciate how you threw me under the bus, but I do agree with your statement.
Maybe
What?
you could... okay, fair enough. I did throw you under the bus with this one, but...
But you're
I
really the only one, when it comes to performances, who knows exactly what each facial expression means, because that's how you convey emotion in your stories, and you're so good at it. I'm sure you could teach Alunodas.
I'm not saying I can't.
I just want to point out that Alunodas' insight is a +6, and he has a wisdom of 17. So
when it occurs to me to try, I'm really good at understanding what people want. It's just that in social settings, I don't think that matters.
I mean, that's literally
better
what
than the long
insight
run.
does.
You know, Alexander, you and Alunodas should go find some ladies and do whatever it is that men do with their spare time. I feel like that
Not
would
for
be a
nothing,
good
but
bonding
I'm a monk.
experience.
That would be,
Yeah, and I have trouble walking. You know, I can talk the
gotcha.
talk, but I can't walk the walk.
Alunodas, you took a vow of punching, not chastity.
Or did he?
ruin comes first. If you know what I mean.
She's the only lady for you.
Gonna transform into a donkey.
How is that helpful?
I was making a Shrek
Shrek.
reference.
Oh.
Yeah, the only references very cultured people use is Shrek 1 references.
Why? Someone once told you?
Yep.
Well, I plan to stay absorbed in my books for this whole thing. I have some spells I'd like to write down, and a few novels I'd like to finish.
You're writing a novel?
Oh, no. Remember Boris Bronebreaker? He had a whole bunch of texts in there. I'd still like to get through some of them.
You also have all the books and ledgers that you got out of the Silverlight Manor to go through as well.
That is true. Wait, didn't we hand those off?
Not that I know of.
For some reason, I thought we gave it to the cult. But if not, then I guess that's what Juliet will be going through instead.
Yeah, because handing over information is something Juliet is very likely to do rather than keeping it for herself.
Well, it's not like information I particularly want.
Well, it might tell us where the artifacts of the saviors are, it might tell us something about the organization of the Vanguard, etc.
Yeah, I guess. It's more work. But sure, why not? Juliet finishes her meal with a hearty lick of the lips. Well, that was absolutely delicious. I have
Do
to...
Dragonborn have lips?
Edges of the mouth? Teeth? I don't know. What would you prefer? I'm not sure.
Lip skills.
I feel like it'd be hard to make words and stuff as a Dragonborn without lips. Even the roaring stuff would require some oral dexterity.
It's all in the back of the throat.
Ah, gotcha.
According to Google, dragons and Dragonborn have lips.
There we go.
Maybe the scales are just finer.
Could be. But I think tomorrow I'm going to see about my age being put back to where it was. My scales are starting to fade a bit.
At the ripe old age of 28.
Yes, well, they're not quite as vibrant.
Who else is suffering from that? Was it just Brakul?
Yep.
Oh, the age thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
All right, so you finish up your meals, and Nifron's going to head back upstairs.
Well, I'm going to hit the books and then hit the hay. What are the rest of you going to do? Stay up later? Should I expect you back at some time, check in with you, or is everybody just going to part ways for now?
I might go
I'm
out
going
and
to
fly
meditate.
around some. Talia's gonna go practice flying with her cloak
Okay.
and then go to bed. It's nothing exciting.
All right, so you go outside to the stables, and you look around to see if anybody's out there. And you're going to notice Michael's out there sitting on the stoop, smoking a pipe.
So edgy.
Edgelord Michael.
I'm gonna wave at Michael and say hi. And
he looks a little startled and surprised, and like hides the pipe like he's not supposed to be smoking it. And then he sees the chew and relaxes a bit and waves and says hi.
I was just coming out to say hi to my dog, and I'm gonna whistle and see if I can convince Abbott to come to me, even though he doesn't know that command yet.
You hear him bark, but currently he's tied up in one of the stables.
Do you want to meet him?
Sure.
So I'll go to the stable and kneel down next to Abbott and be like, "This is his name's Abbott. He's old. How old is he now?"
Oh, he's a puppy. He's probably a couple of months.
He's like 4 months old, I think.
So Michael gets closer, and Abbott starts to growl. It's like, but a cute little puppy growl. And Michael's going to say, "Does he bite?"
So she's gonna ask, "Do you happen to have any like table scraps or anything tasty that you can convince him to like you with?"
"Oh yeah, hold on." And he walks back into the inn and comes back out about a minute later, and he's got some lamb out of the stew, and he's going to kneel down and hold his hand out with the lamb in his hand. Abbott's going to like growl for a second, and then he's going to stop and sniff, and then take the lamb out of his hand and start licking his hand. Michael's just going to start petting the top of his head. He says, "That's a good boy."
Yeah, he just needs to meet new people. He hasn't gotten a chance in our travels to meet a whole lot of people. And she's gonna, like, in her brain say that we didn't kill, but not say that out loud.
And he says, "Well, if you're on the road all the time, it seems like you should be meeting a lot of people."
Oh, we've gone through a lot of wildernesses. There have been very few times where we've actually been in a town.
Oh, well,
especially in the last couple of months since we got him.
What do you all do if you're traveling from in the wilderness? I mean, are you traders? Oh, you just failed that inside check. Or deception check.
I'm trying to decide what to say. I have no idea. I mean, I kind of just follow the other guys around. We're currently just traveling from place to place. I think we're trying to make it to one of our party's ancestral home grounds, which is kind of cool.
Oh, really? Where's that?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm just kind of along for the ride. They kind of adopted me. I was a street rat. I was an orphan. I am an orphan, but now I have a family.
Oh, really? Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Carnley originally, but my mother and my mother's employers, she was a wet nurse for another couple. They all died in the plague.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But
it's okay. I have a family now, and they love me.
Carnley's a grand city. What was that like?
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you weren't a street rat, it was amazing. For me, it kind of sucked. I was in a pretty crappy orphanage for a while, and then I ran away.
But you're doing okay now.
Much better now, yes. I was given this group really, they became my family. They brought me in, they got me a puppy and a pony, and have made sure that I've been well fed and introduced me to ice cream. Have you ever heard of ice cream? It's freaking amazing.
No, what's that?
It's basically like frozen sweetened milk with flavors added. Like, my favorite's chocolate chip.
Chocolate? I've heard about that, but I've never had it.
Oh, would I have any chocolate? Like, probably not.
No, you wouldn't have any chocolate.
It's super tasty. I definitely, if I come back through here, I'll bring you some.
That sounds great. Most people don't come back through here, though, unless you're traders, and you don't look like a trader.
Well, I mean, we might not be traders, but we probably... I think our whole goal is to just go around and see new places, or at least that's what I think it is, and we might come back this way.
Well, make sure to come and see me if you do.
I absolutely will. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to the inn. I just wanted to make sure Abbott had a good, was settled for the night and was still okay.
Well, if I'm out here later, I'll check on him.
Thank you so much. And she's gonna scritch his ears and head back toward the inn.
That seems kind of a weird way to hit on a boy.
What, talking about puppies and chocolate? We're 12 and 14.
No, scritching him behind the ears.
No, Abbott. I scritch Abbott behind the ears. Not the boy. That's super awkward.
Michael starts like twitching his right leg. All right, well, I guess I'll see you around.
Yep, see you around.
You know what my greatest disappointment in this podcast, missed opportunity, was just making the voice of this boy just be like, yeah, that's cool. Being like stupid 14-year-old boy. So you still gonna find some place and go flying?
Yeah, I'll head back toward the inn and see if he's not following me, then I will simply walk past the entrance and go to the other side of the building.
Okay, give me a perception.
You have your own room, right? You could just fly out the window.
I mean, you said perception check?
Yep.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah, that's the one. You don't notice him staring at you as you walk away.
I don't notice him staring at me, which he totally is.
Yep.
Oh god. I'll just walk past the entrance and go around the building.
Okay.
And look around to see if anybody else is watching.
Alright, you don't see anybody.
I guess I turn into a bat.
Okay.
If it's dark enough.
Yep.
And I'll fly around the woods and catch bugs, I guess. I don't know what bats do. Just kind of get the hang of being a bat.
Alright, so let's switch over to Juliet.
All right. So Juliet is going to be reviewing the stuff from the Silverlight Mansion, since that seems to be the priority at the moment.
Alright, so give me a investigation check.
Let's see this natural one. Let's see. Oh, a 6. 2.
So you are looking through these ledgers from the Silverlight Mansion, and you are piecing together some correspondence that seems to be going on between some members that you think are the Vanguard. There's a couple of names that are sticking out to you, but you're having trouble putting together like the connections of who may be in the hierarchy here. But some of the names that pop up more often than others are Grand Mage Pharrell, who is the Grand Mage at the Isle of Insight.
I remember him.
There is a Leah Aerith, who appears to be in Gresson, and a Falk Huron from Dornmoth. There's a lot more here to like process, but with an investigation check of 6, it's
yeah, that's not going to do it. But yeah, that's a good starting point at least. And that's really all Juliet's going to do. Just reviewing that that's correspondence and stuff.
Yeah, and 2 other pieces of information that you're able to glean from this is this Leah Arith from Gresson is the Marshal General there, and Falk Huron from Dornmoth is a priest of Vandra.
Interesting information.
Oh, and another name that comes up that you are already familiar with is Orin the Companion. So we'll say you spend most of the night doing that. If you want to copy over like one spell, you can try to do that.
Sure. I'm going to try and inscribe knock, so I can unlock doors more easily.
Okay, give me a Arcana check.
Say 20 total.
Oh yeah, you have no problem with that. And you're pretty proud of your handwriting when you're done.
I knew all those hours of writing useless garbage would pay off someday.
That's all of literacy. Alright, so that's probably all you can get done for the night. We'll say, Hannah, at some point, you come back and enter the inn again.
Batting about town.
Alexander, is there anything you want to do?
Is there anything he can do?
I don't know. Depends on if he's got an idea for something. I mean, at this point, it's just his ability checks are at like -3.
Shane?
That's me. Okay, there's no one in the room with me, right?
Correct.
Okay, it's time to really practice my genius. I take out my ever-changing instrument, and I turn it into a pair of bagpipes.
Okay.
Yeah, the fact that no one's in the room with you isn't going to help.
As well as my little feeble hands can.
What are you doing?
Just playing the bagpipes. I don't really have anything.
Okay, so after about 5 minutes, you're going to hear this loud cop knock at the door.
Come in.
You stop playing for a second, and the door opens, and it's Nifron.
Hey, Nifron, how can I help you?
We need to talk.
I hope it's not about the bagpipes. I'm sorry. Nobody understands my genius.
Yes. No, it's not about the bagpipes.
Oof. Okay. Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
So he closes the door behind him, and he's going to walk over and sit down on a stool, and he's going to say, "So, how are you really feeling?"
Pretty good. The demon hasn't really resurfaced as of yet, so could be worse.
Have you noticed any sort of pattern to when it appears to you?
Usually from experience, it's usually about the time that like I'm around like vulnerable people, or like whenever we're in combat and it knows that something's dying around it.
But has it spoken to you recently?
Not since I got brought back.
It'll probably be hungry soon, and in your weakened condition, you might be just susceptible enough to its influence to hurt one of the other people in this party.
Makes sense. Yeah, I'll be sure to bring it up the second that it starts talking to me again. I don't like talking to it very much.
So, what was it like being trapped in the dagger?
It wasn't great, I'm gonna tell you. I met what's his name, the other guy that got tricked by this dude. And he's been just being tortured in that dagger since he died. So he's not having a great time. And I was about to follow the same fate, but luckily I got brought back. So let's try and not make that mistake again.
Do you speak of Jarek?
Sure do.
Were you able to get any information from him? Learn from him?
Not particularly. He was pretty crazed out of his mind. He was not really the whole happy-go-lucky Jarek that probably used to exist.
Well, towards the end, he wasn't a happy-go-lucky halfling. And the same fate could await you.
Yeah, but at least if worse comes to worse, you guys are here to stop me.
Oh, yes, we'll put you down like the dog.
Can I at least be like a family pet dog and not like a stray dog?
Not all of us get to die in our sleep, Bod.
Well, some of us don't get to come back from death either, but here I am.
This is true.
But yeah, I'll make sure to bring up the next time I hear from him. Hopefully he doesn't expect me to pay rent. So
make sure that you do.
You got it.
And he's going to get up and walk out of the room.
What time is it about now, Kevin?
It's probably about 10 o'clock.
Okay, it's probably a bit late to be playing the bagpipes loudly.
And early.
You know, I don't like those words, okay? Just because you don't appreciate my genius doesn't mean you have to stop me.
Can you imagine going to a hotel and then, like, the person in the next room like just breaks out bagpipes at like 10:30 at night.
I mean, I actually like the bagpipes, and that's way too late to be playing the bagpipes.
I would like to make my magic instrument into a lute slash kind of like a flute hybrid. So it's kind of like a stringed instrument that uses like your air to make the sound.
Interesting. Okay.
I would like to test it out and see how it sounds. I would like to roll a performance check.
Okay.
So I think I get a -3, so 11.
It sounds like a cross between Esteban and Zamfir.
What does that mean?
Zamfir was the pan flute guy, and Esteban was the flamenco guitar player that sold his guitars on QVC.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'll keep that in my pocket picks of instruments. I think I'm good.
All right, so everybody sleeps through the night, wakes up the next day undisturbed, and Jared's got breakfast ready for you. You can smell it coming from downstairs. It's currently about 6:30 in the morning.
Bagpipe time. And stop me if I'm being too presumptuous here, but I think we're all going downstairs to eat breakfast in one way or another. Is that correct? Am I safe assuming that, Barty?
Yes, we're going to make this the eating episode.
Okay.
The eternal feast.
I'm pretty sure there's been food in every episode.
So,
even if it's just ice cream.
the meal's laid out for you. There's bacon and eggs and some toast. You don't see Jared this morning.
I guess I have to have dry white toast.
Oh, you're not going to have that bacon and eggs.
I thought you were
I am
vegetarian.
not cruel.
I thought you were vegetarian, not vegan.
I don't believe in animal cruelty of any kind. And in order to make dairy, you have to steal the calves from the cows. That's not cool.
There's no dairy here.
Which makes the toast even just as dry. Yeah.
You could have jelly.
I could have jelly. That's true. Is there jelly?
There's no jelly.
Or jam?
Just dunk your toast in ale and you'll be fine.
I hear you like bread, so go ahead and dip your bread in some bread.
And there's a lot of bread in the bread.
Breadception.
So you finish eating, and Nifron stands up and says, "I have business in the town," and walks out the door.
I have business also in town, but I don't like him, so I'm going to go the other way.
Wait, are you going to the temple by chance?
I am.
I have to head there too. Why don't we go there together?
Okay. And how does Talia respond to that?
I'm basically gonna spend the day training Abbott, so she's gonna be like, "Alright, have a good day, guys."
Yeah, she's not shipping us anymore.
Are you taking her to the same place together? She is thrilled.
Yeah, you're going to the
boy.
chapel.
Chapel and there.
Gotta probably kill something.
All right, so Juliet and Alunodas, you are heading to the Temple of Ilmater.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you walk in, and there's currently nobody upstairs.
You see, maybe this is why they're not doing well as a temple.
They need to have like priests ziplining down and a laser light show and a rock band.
Yes.
Money
And
Or-
like a fun fair for the kids and all sorts of stuff.
Ilmater
And
Sunday
ATMs.
schools.
We could just have Alexander play here, then we'd know it's truly a Temple of Ilmater, since he's a masochist.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
So, just a quick question. So, if it doesn't really matter, fine. But, so, for these temples, are they in, like, a Gregorian chant kind of, like, episode of music where they don't believe in using instruments for divine stuff? Or do they like using instruments for divine stuff?
I think you're thinking of like old Southern Baptists, which my grandfather was one. Ilmater, I mean, there's really no tenets against using, instruments. It just has to be, like, sad and depressing. Like,
That makes sense.
Like Robert Smith is a bard who follows Ilmater.
Sure. I just wasn't sure if, because, like, in, like, the original written pieces of music, the church didn't like instruments being used for secular songs because it took away from the divinity of it, because it distracted from the words. So they'd only use choirs.
And even if there were, we're not really followers of Ilmater, remember?
Right. I was just mildly curious.
So are you going to try to get a church gig? Are you going to be in the Ilmater praise band?
Yeah, just
He's
make
going
it
to
a
play
high
drums.
I mean, my things could be drums.
Yeah,
or it could be a bow.
We'll just have to put you behind the glass shield.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? Where does it end?
It could be.
Different sized jars of mayonnaise, and you just stick things in there and make a squirpy noise.
Don't give him any ideas.
It'd be better than bagpipes.
Agreed.
Hey, don't talk bad about my bagpipes.
All right, I guess we should head downstairs.
So you
Yep.
head downstairs, and Char's down there. She is eating breakfast.
Good morning, priestess. I
Good
hope we're not
morning.
interrupting you.
Yes, it's early. What is it I can help you with? And she's going to put down her fork. She appears to be eating some fish.
Dried fish? Did we give her our stuff?
No, she's got fresh fish.
Tiamat provides.
So does the river that's like right there.
Well, it snakes like one of her heads, so clearly it's a signal.
There are water dragons. Right? There are water dragons, right?
They're all metallic dragons.
Ew.
Metallic, chromatic, and gem.
Yeah, the only water chromatic dragon is the black dragon, and that's for swamps,
Racism. That's what that is.
pretty much.
Yes, it's racism. What can I help you with? As you're having
Yes,
this
we've been having this conversation in character.
Yeah, in front of the priestess of Tiamat.
Sister, I was hoping that you might be able to, with your renewed vigor, restore me to my previous youth. I do have the diamond here necessary for it.
Yes, come. And she's going to wave you over.
Fantastic. Juliet will approach with reverence.
So you give her the diamond, and she picks up a blacksmith's hammer and crushes it like she did previously. And then she's going to grasp her holy symbol of Tiamat, and it starts to glow red. And then she's going to take the dust and sprinkle it on your head, and then she's going to put her hand on your forehead. And then you can feel some vigor come back to you. And the aging process has been reversed.
Oh, I feel like a whole new worm-ass. Thank you, sister.
And she gives you a little slap on the face, and she says, yes, you look, it took 10 years off of you. I wish I could take 10 years off myself. Am I right?
Sister, I'm sure your beauty is absolutely fine as is. You look plenty fine to me.
Why, thank you. Even though I know it's all honeyed lies. And then she chuckles, and she's going to sit back down.
Sister, I was thinking about what your operation is doing here. It seems that Ilmater is no longer popular in this town.
You'd be correct.
Perhaps instead of trying to use Ilmater as your front to lure people in, why not Cord? He seems more popular and perhaps better suited to our mistress's needs. Well, my mistress's needs.
That very well may be.
Lure in fighters and then basically get some sorts of priests, perhaps, maybe section some off for Lagrimas to train as monks.
It's not a bad idea.
Although I don't know if the Temple of Ilmater would be suited for that. Perhaps keep this as a more clandestine base and set up another false temple to Cord. I would leave that to you.
Yeah, and the problem is we don't really have the money to be building another temple as a front.
That's an excellent point. How much would a temple cost?
A simple one to Cord, maybe 3,000.
Oh, that's easy enough. And then Alunodas just hands over 3,000 gold.
Alunodas.
Her eyes go wide.
She's like, this is a kingly gift.
Well, our mistress has her needs, and so does yours.
Well, I'll have people contracted right away. And thank you for your generosity.
It is nothing.
And she's going to scoop up all that gold. I'm assuming you're just like handing this out, or do you give it to her in a sack?
I just sort of dumped it out of my pouch onto the table.
So she's like picking gold out of her fish plate.
Yep.
So she doesn't have a sack, so she's going to like hold up her robe and like pour the gold into it.
Scooping it off the table.
Yeah, and then waddles over to a chest in the back.
And Alunodas just lost like 30 pounds.
Well, it's in the bag of holding, isn't it?
We have like different amounts listed for each person on the inventory thing.
Oh, did you change yours? I literally took it out of the bag of holding, but
I just took it out of Alunodas's pockets. Alunodas has been just sort of walking around with a shit ton of money with nothing to do with it.
Damn.
He jangles when he fights. So she's going to close that chest back up and put a lock on it and walk back over and sit down, and she says,
So, what is this idea you have about Lagamas?
Well, in addition to your front as a temple, he could also train people in the monkly arts while you bring people to Tiamat, is what I was thinking. Now, not everyone is suited to clerical service.
To Tiamat.
And perhaps Brakul could, help people who are not well suited to either. Barbarian fighting stuff.
And how exactly do you propose I bring them to Tiamat? That would be a tough sell in this town.
Well, after you've set up your temple and have your front, then, just some people are probably going to be more drawn to Tiamat's strength rather than the stupid piety of someone like Cord. I'm assuming that does Tiamat have open temples in various places? I wouldn't know how popular she was.
Tiamat isn't exactly well looked upon by people of the nicer dispositions.
she's an evil god of dragons.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that they probably already have, they're very well schooled in setting up hidden temples and drawing people in and so on.
Yeah, you're not really going to go to Carnley and say, hey, can you direct me to the Temple of Tiamat?
Hey, where do you get your babies around here? I'm really looking to eat some babies.
So she says,
We'll put some plans in motion.
Meanwhile, perhaps I could jog about in the forest for a little while, attract the attention of some wild beasts and lure them back to town, and encourage the townsfolk that maybe they need strength rather than just sitting here and being stupid and weak like they are.
She
encourage them to develop.
She cocks an eye when you say that, and she says,
Bring wild animals to town? To what purpose?
Well, if they see themselves as weak and defenseless, that might draw them more to the worship of Cord or Tiamat, or that they need to train with someone like Lagamas.
That's not a bad idea. But how do they get past the gates?
That I do not know.
Maybe you could bring them in from the south of town.
Are the gates less defended there?
There are no gates there.
Oh, well, then that would make it easy.
But where are you going to find the animals?
Iolas warned us that there was a dangerous trail into the mountains.
Yes,
if I were to take a horse and ride up there, and I hopefully would be able to get away from them once I got their attention.
Wolves may not follow you for 2 days.
Then maybe that plan wouldn't work.
They usually avoid people, especially in large towns.
Well, then maybe the Red Talons that are currently here could start pretending to be bandits again now that the mad, Paladin has been killed.
That's not a bad idea either. They're getting bored and lazy and fat.
The The perils of civilization.
Talk to Lagermouse about your plans. I have a temple to build.
Very well. It was nice seeing you again, sister.
And you as well. And thank you.
And now Alunodas can just sort of skip his way up the stairs and out of the temple, because he's lost a lot of weight.
Juliet will give a bow and leave with Alunodas. But once they're above the temple, Juliet is going to grab Alunodas and be like, "What did you just do? Why did you pay her like that?"
That's the sort of thing we do. We help people in our group.
In our group, we don't just hand out money to people.
I thought you were a worshipper of Tiamat, that you would like something like that.
That is not a temple to Tiamat she's building.
It's a fake temple to Cord in order to build a temple to Tiamat. That's how these things work.
All right, but if we need
Besides,
that
Talia
money,
still has all sorts of money for ice cream and stuff.
When did Talia get money? She never told me about that.
We did a robbery on the Isle of Insight. Made a lot of money. That's where I got all that money from that I just gave to Shar.
You two did a robbery on the Isle of Insight?
Yeah, there was this shop that was full of all sorts of magic items, and we got paid a lot of money after we robbed it for the local Thieves Guild. Did we not tell you about that? I thought we told you about that.
No, you never told anybody about that. That was kind of between you and Talia.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Well, now you know.
Talia's going to get a talking to.
Yes, she is. Okay, well, you know what? It's your money. You do what you want with it. Just try not to splurge like that so impulsively.
That was a splurge? Okay, maybe you should hold on to this money. Here. And Alunodas hands over the rest of his money to Juliet.
No, I can't accept this. Believe me.
No?
No,
Okay.
you do not want me to handle your money.
You're bad with money?
No, if you give it to me, I will consider it mine.
Ah, very lawful of you.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Poseidon is 9/10 of maritime law.
Well, I suppose that is that. Should we return to inn? Do you have things to do?
I'll go talk to Lagermas about setting up a school. You go ahead and head back to the inn and do that book thing you like to do, I think.
With pleasure. And Juliet will leave for the inn.
All right, so Alunodas, you are going to search around this temple, and you're going to find some
Lagermas.
Yeah, you're going to find some rooms in the back. You're walking through, and you're seeing some various people that you saw downstairs before, and you finally come to one room, and Lagermouse is inside, sitting on the floor, meditating. And before you can say anything, he, with his eyes still closed, he says, "Yes, brother, you've returned." And he's going to open his eyes and pop up off the ground.
Hello, Lagermas. Yes, I just spoke with Shar about changing from Ilmater as the front to Cord, because Cord seems more popular in this town.
Yes, that makes sense.
Have you thought any more about opening a school?
Honestly, I have not.
Well, I think it would help, but I will leave that to you. In any event, in order to encourage the town to turn more to Shar in her guidance, I suggested to her that you and the others begin staging bandit attacks to encourage them to be more fearful and turn more toward trying to be strong and militant.
That's a great idea, brother.
It would let you hone your craft and possibly encourage some of the others to seek out Shar, and perhaps you or Brakul or any of the others for training in combat, and possibly to turn to our mistress.
Do you think you could help?
I would be glad to, but we'll only be here for a few more days.
Well, it only takes one night.
Indeed.
Do you think any of your friends could help? They seem to know what they're about.
Oh, they're definitely excellent at murder and killing. But I would leave that up to them. I believe Talia would be more interested in robbery than just rapine and murder. Juliet seems more interested in studies, and of course Alexander is too weak to do anything at the moment. Nifron might help, but I simply don't know about him.
Well, why don't you fill it out and bring them here tonight? We'll have a meeting and discuss our plans.
Certainly. And with that, I will give him our cool monk handshake and be on my way back to the inn.
All right, so it's like right hand slap, left hand slap, like punch in the gut, and then you do this like simultaneous roundhouse kick, but like your feet miss each other and
our feet clap together. Yep.
And then you do like the explosion at the end with both hands, like boom.
Jazz hands.
All right. So are you headed back to the inn?
Yep. And I believe Talia is training Abbott.
Yes.
All right. So Talia, what are you wanting to teach Abbott how to do?
Well, I plan on trying to train him basically from breakfast till dinner, with a few breaks in between so he can rest. But I want to give plenty of time to try to teach him 3 commands.
Okay. So
the first.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first is come to get Abbott to come to her. The second is leave it, and the third is sit pretty.
Okay.
Where he sits up on his back haunches with his paws folded in front of him. That one, surprisingly, having trained my dogs, that is actually the easiest one to get any of them to do.
Okay. So you go outside and go ahead and roll animal handling for the first command.
12.
He's not really getting it. I mean, it's like you're making noise and like waving him on, and he'll get up and sit down, and it'll come over to you, and then like you'll have him sit and then walk away from him, and you'll do the command again, and it's not really consistent.
Okay. For the next one? Oh god, 3. Okay, so he's definitely not going to leave it.
Nope.
Alright, and here's the important one, sit pretty. 18!
Yeah, he gets that one. He is sitting the prettiest.
This is super accurate for those who don't know about training dogs. That is actually super easy to get them to do.
So, around the last time you're doing the sitting pretty, you'll notice that Michael's been out there watching you.
Talia's gonna, wave and say, "Oh, hi!"
Oh, hi. You and the puppy playing?
I was just trying to teach him some new tricks.
Oh, yeah? What can he do?
Well, he has, quiet and stay down really well, and sit. But really the only other thing he can do is sit pretty, and she's gonna make the hand motion, and I'm sure Abbott's gonna do it like he's supposed to.
Roll me a animal handling check.
9.
So he's getting it for the most part. But he sits, you say sit pretty, and then he like just sits like the other command, and then he sits pretty for a moment and then sits back down, and Michael's gonna clap.
It's a work in progress.
Oh, he'll get it.
So what are you up to?
I was just taking out the trash and saw you out here playing with the puppy.
Oh, well, she's gonna like play with her hair and like try to think of something to say that's interesting.
Okay.
Did he take the trash out through the common room? Because that's a violation of health codes.
He did not. This is out back towards the stables. Fucking narc.
So, do you have any pets?
No, not really. I had a dog once when I was younger. Ran off or disappeared or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jared said it's too much to take care of a dog in the inn, so we didn't get another one.
That's fair. Do you guys not have any like chickens or horses or anything?
No. The only chickens, we get every now and then are, dead for dinner.
Well, they are rather tasty, aren't they? So, out of character, would I know if there is a place around here that has puppies? Would I have like seen signs or anything like puppies, X amount of gold?
You didn't really. You went down to the docks, right?
Yeah, I went. Well, did I go down to the docks? I don't think I went down to the docks. I think Alunodas
I went down to the docks. She went to the leatherworker Smith did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see anything like that.
I'm just gonna be like, well, you can play with Abbott anytime you want while we're here. He could use the company.
Oh, that'd be great. And he's gonna go over to Abbott and scritch him behind the ear. And Abbott licks his hand.
Have I shown you my pony?
Yeah, well, I've seen it. I've been taking care of it for you.
Her name's Estelle, isn't she sweet?
Oh, she is. I gave her an apple.
Oh, she loves apples. No wonder she keeps thinking I'm gonna give her a treat every time I come scritch her.
Yeah, she's a pretty pony.
Will you join us for dinner tonight?
Oh, I'm not supposed to eat with the guests.
I'm sure your dad would allow it this once.
Oh, Jared's not my dad.
Oh?
No, he's my uncle.
Oh, who's your dad?
Oh, he died a long time ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know how rough it can be to lose a parent.
Yeah, I was really young. He died in a fire.
Oh, that sucks.
Awkward pause.
Awkward pause. So, I was just gonna head back in. You might not be able to eat dinner with us, but I'm sure that you can just hang out for a little bit and chat.
I've got some chores, but yeah, I can chat for a while.
Okay, let's head back in and cue not actual chatting. We'll just go over some basic things that we tell each other. Can we do that? Because this is super awkward and I'm having a hard time thinking.
That's what makes it realistic.
What's your favorite color? You know, how many dishes have you cleaned? How many people have you killed? All that good stuff.
So were you the one that lit the fire that killed your dad?
Do you want to see my knife collection? No.
So yeah, we'll say you make small talk for over 30 minutes while he's doing his chores inside.
Cool.
And your relationship meter goes up 1 heart.
Just like a telltale game, he will remember this. You have changed your destiny.
Oh, God.
So, does anybody else want to do something?
I don't think I have anything.
Might be a good time for a conversation. If Alunodas wants to have that conversation with everybody about this plan for an attack on the town.
Sounds good. We can talk about it over dinner. That's the sort of thing you can discuss in the open, right?
We have a guest coming for dinner.
Yeah, Talia's gonna talk to Jared and see if if they'll all join them for dinner, since it's just them in the inn. It doesn't make sense to not share a meal.
All right, so Jared's going to talk to you, and he says, "I don't know if it'd be proper, miss."
Well, I mean, you've been feeding us and keeping a roof over our heads, and we've beat up drunkards free. I feel like we're family now. It's not really a business relationship anymore, is it? Like, we're friends. You can come eat with us.
I suppose. And Michael, you see like his face like light up when he realizes he's going to get to eat dinner with you.
Keep in mind that Talia might kill you if you say no, Jared.
Oh God, no. I almost feel bad for Michael. Almost.
So later that night, he sets out some roast boar out on the table, and some more like field greens, like collard greens, roasted potatoes, carrots, onions, and you all sit down for a meal and start digging in. And Jaren's like, "Hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly do you all do?"
We're adventurers. Exploring the world.
Adventurers, huh? Tell me about some of your adventures.
I've got one. One time we were sailing on the sea, and we happened to be attacked by a kraken, like a large octopus, and almost sank our ship.
That's already like 5 times better than the last story you told.
Talia's gonna lean over to Michael and say, I wasn't there for that one.
And Jared can hardly believe it, and he's like, surely you must jest. You fought a kraken? I didn't think those were real.
Yeah, I don't like to know that they're real either.
It almost sank our ship.
How did you
What?
survive?
Well, Alunodas over there, he hurled the thing into the distance and then dragged our ship to shore. And quite a feat.
No, I didn't. I just punched it a lot, and then we shot it in the face with a cannon.
I'm trying to embellish here. Come on, play along, Alunodas. I'm trying to entertain our friend over here.
And Jared's going to laugh, and you get the distinct impression that he's not believing anything you say.
Now, you want to hear a real story? Well, back in Kala, Alexander and I were partnered up with some other people, and we had to go find this nasty necromancer who was plaguing one of the Raven Queen's temples. We delved inside, and lo and behold, hordes of these undead creatures, the living dead, were rising up against us. We managed to barely escape with our lives, but we took down the necromancer, and I myself claimed his tome as a prize. It's been surprisingly insightful, though I've had to avoid the more dark portions of it.
And his eyes go wide again, and he says, Doctel, that is, how did you defeat this necromancer?
Now, Alexander, do you remember striking the killing blow?
Sure do. I even got this cool dagger while we were there. I pull out the dagger.
Sweats.
And you pull it out, and it starts whispering to you, Alexander, but you can't make out what it's saying.
Well, it's about time to put that away. I put it back into the chute.
It's something about kill them, kill them, kill them.
But yes, we adventure around and solve problems that need solving.
Well, you sure solved my problem.
We're happy we were able to do so.
So, where will you be heading next?
I think we'll be heading north to the mountain. See what we can see.
Heard there's been some trouble brewing up that way.
Oh? Anything in particular you hear?
Something about a great white beast flying in the sky.
Oh, that sounds right up our alley.
Oh, you're a braver man than I am.
Yes, probably.
And
Talia's gonna nudge
he makes
Alunodas,
like,
oh my god.
yeah, he makes kind of like a face like, well, fuck you too. So, Jared's going to look over at Talia and say, so, you and my nephew have been spending a lot of time together lately?
She's gonna blush and say, I mean, not that much time, like trying to play it off.
So, how much time? Exactly.
Cue glare at Alunodas. Enough. Enough time. We have been spending enough time together.
And Jared's just going to chuckle, like he did it to like kind of embarrass you and Michael.
BRB.
And he gives Michael a little side eye, and then Michael side eyes him back.
Yes, well, Michael, you're a very lucky man to have caught Talia's eye. She doesn't spend a lot of time with people.
You say that, and he's going to sputter and like start choking on a potato. And Jared like slaps him hard on the back, and he spits out part of this potato, which makes him even more embarrassed. And Jared says, caught her eye, did he?
Yeah, that's how I would put it, right, Talia, who isn't here to complain about me saying this?
I literally just got pizza. What has been said about me?
Did you just drop out?
I ran to the door to get pizza because it came when I ordered it to be here, and
No, Juliet had said that it was lucky, or it was good that Michael caught your eye because you don't spend a lot of time with people.
I mean, I spend lots of time with you guys, your people.
I mean, other people. You literally have to travel with us. We adopted you.
Well, yeah, but other people suck, for the most part. Not you guys, though. And she's gonna look at Jared and Michael.
What you missed is when Juliet said that, Michael sputtered and started choking on a potato, and Jared had to slap him on the back to make him spit the potato out, which caused even further embarrassment.
Outstanding. So Talia's gonna turn to Alunodas and Juliet and say, so, how did it go with the chapel? Did you get everything that needed to be taken care of before the big day?
What? Yes. What?
Yeah, I feel like a new woman, honestly.
Oh, did you guys get it done already? I thought you were gonna invite me. She's gonna look at Michael and say, they've been eyeing each other for years. We've always thought they were going to get married soon.
We've only known each other a few months. What are you talking about?
And Jared's going to say, Mazel Tov.
Yes, we have known each other for quite a while, and that's exactly what we were thinking about doing at the temple. Isn't that right, Alunodas?
No, you needed to get a curse lift from when we killed the Banshee inside the place. The Silverlight.
Okay,
Talia's literally going to face palm herself and just be like, Alunodas, you don't have to make up lies about this. You can, just because you guys are different, that she's a Dragonborn and you're a half-elf, you guys can love each other.
I guess we could, but there was a...
Don't let society tell you what you can and cannot do. Love each other. Be with each other. Talia's laying it on super thick, trying to...
I would like to play my bagpipes.
And Jared says, find your truth.
I don't know what that means.
It means... He's encouraging them to not lie about their relationship with each other.
Our relationship mostly involves me punching things and her stabbing things and casting spells on things. I don't get it.
And Jared's going to say, so were you or were you not up at the Silverlight Manor?
Oh, yes. We heard there was lots of badness there, so we took care of it.
You took care of it?
Yes, it should be safe now.
So, what do you mean?
The Silverlights were bad people, and when they died, they became ghosts, and now they're even more dead than they were before.
There's still a couple of ghosts there, but they're pretty harmless. They're just a couple of kids and their mother.
Yeah, they just want to play.
So he's just looking at both of you incredulously, you just told him that, I don't know what you would compare it to in this world, because a lot of things are real in this world, but it would be in this world saying, yeah, fairies are real. And he says,
I mean, you'll have to clear out some of the corpses of people who have tried to go in there before, but the house should be safe enough now.
So wait, you're telling me that you banished the ghost of the Silverlights?
Yes. Punched them a lot, spelled them a lot, cast things on them a lot, things like that, yeah.
That's amazing.
All in a night's work.
Well, the council's going to want to know that.
What council?
It is still pretty haunted by a couple of ghosts, so you might have some resistance from them, but they weren't nearly as dangerous.
Yeah, we left the nice ghosts.
He's going to say, well, the council's still going to want to know. That place has been an eyesore for decades.
Talia's going to look up and say, you're not going to tear it down, are you? The ghosts of those children call that home.
Yeah, they need a place to live.
Well, you can't be having houses just for ghosts. We need houses for the living.
Sure, but
you
just
could turn it
someone
into a
in
nice
there.
orphanage.
Yeah, it's not as if they can live there.
Well,
someone else can live there, but don't tear the house down. That's those poor kids' home.
Well, who's going to want to live in a haunted house?
I think that maybe this is a decision best left to the council. We're not here to tell people what they should do with their land. We're not barons.
True enough.
You're not wrong. I'm still upset, though.
Well, someone needs to know that the Silverlights are gone.
I will let them know tomorrow morning.
Well, yeah, they'd probably want to hear it from you. I could just be making up some tall tale, but you could too.
That is very true, and I'd rather me get in trouble than you, were I lying.
Well, let's talk for another day. And he shuts up and goes back to his food.
So, Alunodas, we're getting married now. Where is my ring?
I don't have rings. In fact, I gave most of my money to the temple.
Oh, right, the donation. I forgot all about that. Yes.
Oh, wait,
well,
I do have this one ring, but it's the one that lets me breathe underwater. I'm keeping that.
And his eyes are going to go wide and say, "You've got a ring that lets you breathe underwater?"
Yeah, it hasn't come in too handy. Didn't get it until after we, killed the Kraken, I think.
That's amazing. Can I see it?
And Alunodas holds up his hand.
And, he looks at your hand and he goes to, touch it, but is kind of afraid to.
Hey, see with your eyes, not with your hands, man.
Alunodas, it wouldn't harm you to let him see it. Touch it, hold it. It's not like he's going to steal it.
Better not. And Alunodas slips the ring off his finger.
So he takes it and he puts it on, and he says, "How does it work?"
You go underwater and it lets you breathe. You have a rain barrel? We could show you.
And he says,
"Be the best
sure."
prank."
And he's gonna walk outside.
This word of ring of water breathing. Right.
So are you going out with him?
Walk out there with him. Yeah.
Okay, so you walk out there and he's looking at the ring and he's taken off his shirt and he's getting ready to stick his head in the rain barrel when you come out.
So tempted to take the ring and just leave him under there.
So he's going to duck his head underwater, and after about 45 seconds, he's going to come up gasping because he didn't say the command word on the ring.
Oh, there's a command word? Sorry about that. And I tell him the command word.
Okay. So the command word is gulp, and he says, I don't think I want to try that again.
I can show you. And I put my hand out for the ring.
Okay, he slips the ring off his fingers, and he's still gasping.
I'll slip it onto my finger and say, gulp, and dunk my head underwater.
Okay. So,
can I breathe?
Yes, you can breathe.
I'll stay down for what is obviously more time than I can possibly hold my breath for, and come up just fine because I was breathing, and say, yeah, it works. That's really cool.
So, you pull your head out of the water and your hair goes flying in slow motion. Whipping around.
Sure, she won't have thought about that because, she's 12, but Michael can see whatever he wants, I guess.
Yeah, the relationship meter just went up another heart.
Oh.
He's like, oh, that's so cool.
I'm so sorry. I will take it off of slip it off my finger and hand it, to Michael. You want to try?
And he says, he looks at you wary for a moment, and then he takes it and puts it on, and says, what did you say before?
Gulp.
So he says, gulp, and then sticks his head down in the rain barrel, and you see him struggle just for a second as he obviously just took in a big mouthful of water, and then he's there for about a minute or two, and then pops back up and says, that's so cool. Thanks, mister, for letting me try it. And he takes it off and hands it back to you, Alunodas.
And I sort of nod at him. Still don't like him. Don't trust him. He's a killer. But I don't say that.
So you walk back inside, and you're dripping all over the floor. And Jared says to Michael, "Go dry yourself off." And Michael walks into the back and disappears.
Well, thank you for the delicious dinner, but I had a really long day trying to train my dog. I think I'm going to go upstairs and go to bed.
And he says, "Yep, get a good night's rest. I'll clean up here."
Oh, let me help you with that first.
No,
she's gonna start
no,
picking
you're
up
my
things.
guests. And he shoos you away.
Juliet's gonna loop her arm around Alunodas's. Come, Alunodas, let's go to bed.
Talia's just super happy right now.
Around that time, Nifron's gonna walk in, and he hears you say that as he walks towards the table to get some of the boar before it's picked up. And he just looks at the two of you and says, "I don't want to know."
I don't even know.
Talia, if she's headed up the stairs, right? She hasn't left completely.
Sure.
Then she's gonna shout down, "They're getting married!"
Juliet cringes.
Nifron shrugs his shoulders. He just doesn't care.
Once we get upstairs, Alunodas is going to try and knock on people's doors to get them all to come to one room to talk about staging raids.
And Juliet's gonna let go of his arm.
All right. So we'll say it's probably about 20 minutes later or so, and you hear Nifron walk up the steps. If you want to gather everybody and bring them to his room.
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
So what's this all about?
Well, I was discussing trying to set this town, I suppose, as a more permanent base, a recruiting ground for Ruinaxis and Tiamat. Trying to encourage people to join the temple, learn from Lagamas and Shar.
How do you suppose you're
Because
going
our
to
mistress
do
is going to need servants and an army when she returns.
that? Yes, but how do you suppose you're going to accomplish this?
Well, Shar's idea was that we stage a raid. Get the servants of Ruinaxis currently here to start pretending to be bandits, and thus make the town a little bit more fearful, a little bit more attached to the new Temple of Cord, maybe start learning martial ways from the servants of Ruinaxis currently here. And to that end, I, at least, am going to be joining the others in a little fake bandit raid tonight, or tomorrow night. And I was wondering if any of you would like to join us. Obviously,
let me get this
Alexander,
straight.
you
You're
can't
going
do
to
every week.
attack the town.
Well, one of the smaller houses, I suppose, but yes. Out of the cover of darkness, they wouldn't know it's us.
I feel like this is not a good idea. There's no reason to attack this town. It doesn't do anything.
I feel like it might be better to do that when they think we've gone, so they can't link it to us at all.
That is an excellent point.
I know. And Talia's just gonna shrug and smile.
Nifron says, "Sure, I'm up for a little tickle and prickle."
I've never heard this term before. Please explain.
I think it's a sex thing.
Alunodas, you're not supposed to talk about that in front of Talia.
What, sex?
Talia?
She was living on the
What?
streets.
I lived
she
on
probably
the
knew lots of whores.
They preferred ladies of the night, first of all. And second of all, they were some of the nicest people I met, okay?
I thought ladies of the night were vampires.
I mean, some of them were vampires, but they usually only they never really killed their clients, they just fed on them.
That makes
Is that what they told you? Sucked them dry, did they?
Oh, God.
Nifron's going to roll his eyes and pull out his rapier and sigh in a flourish and says, "This is tickle and this is prickle."
Wait, you named them?
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I mean, it's not like they're
What's
fists.
the third, what's your, he has a dagger, right?
It's a sigh.
Oh, what's your sai called? I know he said his rapiers were tickle
His
and
rapier
prickle.
is tickle, and his knife is prickle. The size.
Oh, okay.
Flourished.
Man, I should come up with some names.
You'd run out of names pretty damn quick, I think.
This one's Steve. This one's Jim. This one is...
Michael Noisewater.
I was gonna say Barry, but sure.
This is Steve Johnson, Vice President of Marketing.
Oh, what was that paladin's name? Because this one, and she's gonna hold up the one she slit the paladin's throat with, is gonna be named after him.
I don't think you ever got his name.
Remind me to ask Iolus before we leave. He'll answer anything I ask him.
Do you really need that many names for your various implements, Talia?
I mean, how else am I going... they all need names now that I know that that's a thing, and I can't just name 2 of them. That'd be playing favorites, and I love them all. She's gonna, pet the handle of the fine dagger.
Alexander, did you name your instrument by chance?
Not really. I mean, it's an instrument. As far as I know, it doesn't have a will of its own.
Dare I ask if your dagger has a name?
Yeah, I think... I don't feel like answering that question, okay?
Just checking. Alunodas, did you name your fists and or feet?
Not my feet. My feet don't need names. They're very secure in themselves. My fists, however, are Marcy and Darcy.
I thought they were thoughts and prayers. Nifron's going to say, well, if we're done naming things, can we talk about this plan?
Yes. Let's go ahead and let Alexander heal up, and then after we walk out of town, we can stage a quick raid on one of the outlying houses. That sounds good.
Give it a day or 2 after we leave, but yeah, walk out a day's travel, camp, come back, and then raid it. That's how I would do it.
And are you going to involve Lagermouse in this? I think you were supposed to meet back up tomorrow night.
Yes, and we can do that.
And I think that's probably a pretty good place to end it right there. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. If I could ask a halfling-sized favor, give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's the best way to support us. New episodes come out every Monday, so make sure to check your podcast app. Do you have an idea to make the podcast better? Tell us about it on Twitter or Facebook. You can also check out our website to see all the maps, lore, and characters at dungeonsanddebacklespodcast.com. And now a word from our fantasy sponsor. Greetings, and welcome to the Wizard's Wardrobe. I'm the proprietor, Bala Kyril, at your service. We have Swell's most unique collection of magical items and potions. Have you ever wanted to fly? We have a potion for that. Have you ever wanted to be strong as a bull? We have an elixir that can make that happen. Did you use a magical item without knowing what it did? We have scrolls that can remove almost any curse. Once there was a young man that found a girdle, and when he put it on, it turned him into a lady. That was quite a shock, I'm sure. We helped him with that too. Oh, where was I? Oh yes, the Wizard's Wardrobe. We have rods and wands and cloaks and robes to fit almost any discerning adventurer's need. And all items have been identified by a certified wizard, so you know you're getting exactly what you paid for. Guaranteed. When you think of magic, think of the Wizard's Wardrobe. We're located on Elm Street in Luscane. And remember, if it didn't come from the Wizard's Wardrobe, who knows what you're getting? Alrighty. Well, guys, we're already at 2 hours, so we should probably go ahead and call it.
All right. Sounds good.
Indeed.
This is going to be the heat, salt, fat, acid episode. Because all you did was eat.
Yep.
And flirt with 14-year-old boys as a 12-year-old. It's not awkward at all when you put it in that context. Oh, and totally convince people that certain someones were getting married.
Oh god.
My plan is working.
Cover story.
Now I just have to convince them to actually get married so their paperwork is in order.
Yeah, the paperwork is the problem.
I mean, yeah, it's the problem. Right, guys?
When you're in some, backwater town, they're going to be like, oh, no, I'm not issuing no marriage license to an elf and a dragonborn.
Think about the kids.
Oh,
That's against Paylor.
Well, Paylor can suck it.
The music you heard on this episode was Teller of the Tales, Folk Round, Rights, and The Parting by Kevin McLeod and Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/3.0.